Hello, and welcome to the Data Warehouse module. I'm Julie, a data analytics specialist in Google Cloud. This is the third module in the course, Modernizing Data Lakes and Data Warehouses with GCP. In this first section, we'll describe what makes a modern data warehouse. We'll also talk about what distinguishes a data lake from an enterprise data warehouse. An enterprise data warehouse should consolidate data from many sources. If you recall from the previous module, a data lake does something very similar. The key difference between the two is the word consolidate. A data warehouse imposes a schema. A data lake is just raw data, but an enterprise data warehouse brings the data together and makes it available for querying and data processing. To use a data warehouse, an analyst needs to know the schema of the data. However, unlike for a data lake, the analyst doesn't have to write code to read and parse the data. Another reason to consolidate all of your data, besides standardizing the format and making it available for querying, is to make sure the query results are meaningful. You want to make sure the data is clean, accurate, and consistent. The purpose of a data warehouse is not to store data. That's the purpose of a data lake. If you have raw data that you want to keep around but not necessarily query, don't bother with cleaning and streamlining it. Leave it in a data lake. All data in a data warehouse should be available for querying. It's important to ensure that those queries are quick. You don't want people waiting hours or days for results. We described an enterprise data warehouse and how it's different from a data lake. So what makes a data warehouse modern? Businesses' data requirements continue to grow. You want to make sure that a data warehouse can deal with data sets that don't fit into memory. Typically, this is gigabytes to terabytes of data, but occasionally it can be petabytes. You don't want separate warehouses for different data sets. Instead, you want a single warehouse that can scale from gigabytes to petabytes of data. Second, you want the data warehouse to be serverless and fully no-ops. You don't want to be limited to clusters that you need to maintain or indexes that you need to fine-tune. Having your hands off of these responsibilities will allow data analysts to carry out ad hoc queries faster, which is important because you want the data warehouse to increase the speed at which your business makes decisions. Next, your data warehouse is not productive if it allows you to do queries but doesn't support rich visualization and reporting. Ideally, data warehouses can seamlessly plug into whichever visualization or reporting tool your business is most familiar with. Similarly, because the data warehouse requires a clean and consistent data, you will often have to build data pipelines to bring data into the warehouse. The modern data warehouse should be able to integrate with an ecosystem of processing tools for building ETL pipelines. Your data pipeline should be capable of constantly refreshing data in the warehouse in order to keep it up to date. You need to be able to stream data into the warehouse and not rely only on batch updates. Also, predictive analytics is becoming increasingly important for data analysts. As a result, a modern data warehouse has to support machine learning without moving the data out of the warehouse. Last but not least, in a modern data warehouse, it should be possible to impose enterprise-grade security like data exfiltration constraints. It should also be possible to share data and queries with collaborators.